Hey guys, this is Stephanie and I am Stacks on Stacks on Stacks. Hello and welcome to day 17. I'm glad everybody is still with us today. Today's topic is 2018 releases that I am most excited to read. Now, I kind of interpreted this as books that still haven't come out this year. There have been a few that have already come out that I've already read, and I was very excited and might still be excited for them. But there are a few that are still yet to come that I'm very excited about. Now, the first one I'm going to talk about is Nerves and Wires by Marissa Meyer. And this is, I think, the part 2 in, I don't know if there's more than 2 in this series, of a graphic novel that follows the character of Aiko in the Lunar Chronicles. Now, I read the first one, I haven't read the second one, and actually now I think about it, I think this one's already out. That's okay, I haven't read it yet, so it'll be new to me. Like I said, this is a book from the Lunar Chronicles where we are following a girl named Cinder who has a sidekick who is like an android-esque machine person, but has quite the personality. And Cinder is living in New Beijing, and she also is part android. Like, she has like a leg, foot that is metal, and she's part human, part android. She has the evil stepmother, she has the evil stepsisters, and she has a ball that she wants to go to. But it's not quite that predictable and cliche. It is futuristic, it is fun, it is smart, it's a wonderful series. And this graphic novel just follows that one little character, and I am game for that. I will definitely read that as soon as my library gets it. Another graphic novel I'm actually excited to read this year would be White Sands 2. This is a Brandon Sanderson graphic novel. I read the first one. Actually, I don't know if I finished it. I think I got it from the library, but it was on my Kindle, and I don't like reading on my Kindle very much, especially graphic novels. I like to hold them this close to my face and inspect them. And you can't do that very well with the Kindle because the light hurts my eyes. So I think I actually almost finished it, but I didn't finish it. So I want the second one to come out. I want to finish the first one and then read the second one. This kind of follows people that live in the desert basically, and they have some magical abilities. They can use the sand to help protect them and fight other things. And I think they can get water from the desert too, but then something horrible happens. So it's a graphic novel, so the pictures are great, the writing was great, and I really did enjoy it. I just didn't enjoy the format. So I'm hoping I can get it, and I'm hoping that I can get it in book form. The next book I'm excited to read that will come out in 2018 is Puddin' by Julie Murphy. Now, I loved Dumpling, and I read that maybe a year and a half ago. I thought it was a really good book with a really good message. And I'm hoping that Puddin' will be something similar to that. I know it's a book in the same, you could say world. I mean, it's our world, but the same area with some of the same characters. I don't know if it's necessarily a sequel. Is it going to have the same characters as Dumpling, or is it a different character in the same world? I don't know. But I probably will be up for reading it because I really did enjoy Dumpling. The next one I am excited to read this year is The Towering Sky by Catherine McGee. And this one is in the 1000th Floor series. It's the third book. So I don't know if there's going to be 3 or 4 books. But I have read the first 2 and I liked them quite a bit, which surprised me because I feel like they should be so predictable and I don't like this and I don't like that. But they were good. And they were described as Gossip Girl in the future. Everybody lives in this tower. The higher you live, the richer you are, which is accurate. But if you would have told me that, I would have been no, I'm not going to read that. But I don't think that's how I was introduced to it. I think somebody told me about it as more like a mystery, like a murder mystery. It's in this tower. Everybody lives in this tower. And I was like, ooh, that sounds great. So I liked the second book too because it kind of expanded a little more outside of the tower, like how people travel from country to country or from one side of the country to the other side, all that kind of stuff. And expanded on a bunch of the characters. It kept a bunch of the same characters and then it added some characters. And I'm pretty sure that the third book will be adding even more characters and keeping more. So I anticipate this one being good. I am also excited to read Catwoman by Sarah J. Maas. I think this comes out August, September, something like that. Now, the funny thing is I've never read anything by Sarah J. Maas, something I am hoping to remedy sometime soon. However, I am just excited because I've always liked Catwoman. When Batman was fighting Catwoman in the movies, older movie, I was always rooting for Catwoman. I was always yeah, Batman, I don't really like you, but I love Catwoman. And it's not just because it's ooh, girl power. It's I don't know, Selena Kyle, there's just something about her that I'm like, dude, you're awesome. And I just cheer for her. I haven't really read many of the graphic novels with her in it. I kind of want to read some of those before I read this Catwoman book, but I am up for this. I like the character. I hear she's a good writer. I want to read it. Next one I have is Save the Date by Morgan Matson. I want to say this comes out this summer. Her books are usually kind of a summery read anyway. They are contemporaries, and I like her books. I've actually only read one. Technically, I've only read Unexpected Everything, and I read it a few years ago, and I liked it. And I don't like contemporary, so what the what? A lot of her books focus more on like the girl-girl friendship versus the girl-boy dating relationship, and I think that's one of the things I like, is that there is a love interest in her books, but that's not the focus. That's the background noise. And I love that message to teenage girls that, you know what, focus on your girlfriends. They're going to get you through hard times. Most boys you date in high school are, I'm not going to say mistake, but they're not your forever man. That is not always true, but that a lot of times is true. And I like that she focuses on that and says, you know, guys are great, but friendships are more important than something romantic, and that's what I get out of her books. I haven't read any of her other books, but I know that's the message that they send, and I probably will read a few of them this summer because I do like her writing and I like her books. I am super excited for My Plain Jane. This is by Cynthia Hand, Ashton Brody, and Jodi Meadows. I loved My Lady Jane. I thought it was hilarious. I literally laughed out loud reading that book. It was so much fun. And so I'm expecting a lot of laughs from this one too. I believe this book follows Jane Eyre. So I will have to read Jane Eyre before I read this, or I don't think I'm going to find it nearly as amusing as I should. And I kind of read Jane Eyre. I read the Cliff Notes. I think that counts, but it doesn't count. So I really just need to read the book. I'm possibly most excited for Reaper at the Gates by Sabaa Tahir. I think it comes out in like a month. Or maybe it just came out. I don't know. I need to figure it out soon. I actually already requested that my library purchase it so that I can have it. Because you can do that at my library. You can go in and be like, I think you should buy this book. And they say, really? That sounds like a wonderful idea. And then they buy the book and I read the book. However, I do think this is a book I would purchase, except they changed the covers. And I'm like, but I have these two wonderful books in a hardback with beautiful covers. You guys suck. They do suck. So I might wait and see if this cover change is a permanent thing, or if maybe we've just been looking at the paperback cover. I'm not sure. I don't really want to have to buy the 3 books, but I liked them enough. I probably would. I am also excited to hopefully finish War Storm by Victoria Aveyard. Now, she did the Red Queen series, which is interesting because people either hate it or they love it. And I'd actually say I'm on the in-between, slightly more towards the like side. I didn't read the 3rd one yet. As you see, it's still on my TBR shelf. But I think I'm going to try and read the 3rd and then the 4th because I waited quite a bit of time between the 2nd and the 3rd. I almost feel like I need to reread the 1st and 2nd, but I didn't quite like them enough to reread them. But maybe, you know, like the 3rd book will be better and then the 4th book will be great and it'll be a wonderful end to a really great story. I'm a little trepidatious about this one, I'm not gonna lie. And I'm hoping it'll come out. I'm actually not 100% sure if it's gonna come out in 2018. Go Tell the Bees I'm Gone by Diana Gabaldon. Now this is due to come out the end of the year, and sometimes books just get pushed back, so it may or may not come out this year. I'm hoping it will. This is the 9th and final book in the Outlander series. Now I have read the first 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 books in that series. I have not read the 8th one yet because the books are so thick. They're like over 1,000 pages a piece, and her books come out so far apart that I always feel like I need to reread the stuff before. So what I have been doing is very slowly rereading the books over like the last year and a half or so. I'm on the 7th book. That is the one that I haven't reread yet. So as soon as we have a firm reread date, I will probably read the 7th, read the 8th for the first time, and then read the 9th just so I can kind of get through it. Her books are long and they also run in like three book arcs. So the first 3 books are kind of a set, and then 4 through 6 is kind of a set, and then 7 through 9 will be a set. They kind of have arcs that go over all 3 books. So like if you finish the first book, you're going to be like, oh, it was so great. And you may not be thinking, wait, I have a lot of unanswered questions. And then you read the 2nd book and you're like, I have a million unanswered questions because it ends on a cliffhanger. And then you read the 3rd one and you're like, okay. So my time between the third and the fourth book was actually a few years because I realized that she does 3-book arcs and I was like, yeah, I don't want to wait forever for those. Foolishly, I read the 7th book because it was really good and I'm going to have to reread it. So that is it. Those are the 10 books I'm looking forward to coming out in 2018 the most. Please leave a comment down below. I want to hear what book or books that you're excited about that are supposed to come out this year. Also, feel free to check everybody else's channel that I am doing this incredibly fun little game with. Link down below, we have Brews and Reviews, Brooke Clark, Christina's Journey, Danny Buxton, and The Story with Serenity Dawn. They're also talking about books that they would like to read in 2018. Don't forget to comment, don't forget to subscribe, and I will be here tomorrow to see you then. Goodbye!